Welcome to Wilson's Wild. Hey, how's it going? Today I have a big old Bowie to show you. This is the carbon steel Bowie by SZCO. Pretty basic descriptive name for a pretty basic knife, but you know, I really like this knife a lot. It has some fit and finish issues, and I'll show you that just to begin with, kind of show you some of the negatives about this knife. You see the way that the wood attaches to the steel. There's a little bit of a gap here, and it's not just where you're looking. It works its way all the way around. Here, let me show the front. There's a pretty big gap right there. I don't know if the cameraman can zoom in on that or not, but it doesn't fit perfect. And the other thing is there's a few spots where I can see epoxy where they didn't clean it off after they put it on. Not to say that this handle's just epoxied on. I wouldn't really be a fan of that, but it is pinned on with these brass pins, but the epoxy, I guess, just kind of helps lock everything together. Aside from that, there's some other little fit and finish issues. The grind lines on this brass guard here, it's not perfectly symmetrical. Some of the grind lines on this, on the blade, they're not exactly perfect. I mean, they're pretty good at first glance, or you know, moving this thing around, you're not really going to notice it. But if you're really comparing one side to the other, like I have, you're going to start to see some of this stuff. Let me see. So it also came with a sheath, and this is going to be another negative I'm going to talk about here. The sheath, it's okay. It works. It's not the best. It is made out of leather. They gave too much room for the blade, and this thing really moved around in there until I addressed the issue. I didn't really do like a permanent fix. I'm going to have to do something, you know, to make it a little bit more permanent. But I put some cardboard in here. It's actually the box that this came in, so it worked out really well. But I put 2 pieces of cardboard in there. It fits in there really well. It locks in, and there's probably a better way to do it. I know there's a better way to do it, and I'll figure that out, but that's what I've done so far. I was pretty much looking for a Bowie knife that I could use and not be overly concerned about it getting damaged. Because I have a bit of an issue where sometimes I buy a knife, full intentions of using it out, you know, in the woods. I get it and it just looks so pretty, or it costs a lot and I start, you know, thinking about it after the fact. And I decide that I'm just going to keep it in my collection. So I was doing a little research, and a lot of people were talking about this knife online, and so I decided to, you know, give it a chance and get one. $21. $21. Can you believe it? I would say it's worth every penny at $21. You know, everything I was reading, people were saying that fit and finish issues, yes, but functionality, I mean, it has total functionality. It will hold up to abuse. It is a 1095 high carbon steel. SZCO does also make a stainless steel version of this, but I'm not really too big of a fan of that. Now, I have tested this out. Once I got it, I hacked the heck out of some wood with it. I just figured I'd go straight, you know, get to the point, treat it like a machete. And it performed pretty well considering, you know, that it's a Bowie knife. I was pretty happy with it. Actually, instead of just telling you about it, let's go try it out. All right, well, I'm here with the SZCO carbon steel Bowie, and we're gonna try it out on some wood here. Do a little hack and slash. All right, let's get to it. Ah, nice. You know, considering that this is a Bowie knife, it's really holding up to the job of kind of abusing it like this on a piece of wood. Now, a Bowie knife, you know, they're kind of, back in the old West, they carried around kind of all purpose, right? Protection, tool. You can do a lot of things with it. Cooking utensil. Actually, you know what? I'm going to see if I could split this. Let's Let's see what happens here. Oh, well, I didn't quite split it all the way down, but I don't know if the camera can take a look at that, if I can get it to stand. There we go. But you can see it started to bite into that pretty good. And remember, this is just a $21 Bowie knife. And as far as, you know, splitting of the wood, if I can get it out of here. All right. Splitting of the wood, I mean, it does pretty good. It's not exactly the thickest blade in the world. It's thick enough to handle the abuse. I don't know if you can see it there. Let me lay it on top of something. It's thick enough to handle the abuse, you know, considering that it's a 1095 high carbon steel. But as far as a splitting power, sometimes having a little bit thicker of a spine kind of helps force the wood apart if you're going to be splitting with it. I'm probably not going to be doing a whole lot of splitting with this. I have other tools that can perform that function, but I figured it'd be a good demonstration. Let's try some other things out. A little baby, why not, right? It's sitting right here. I'm just gonna start picking up all I have a bunch of wood scraps around me. I'm just gonna see what it can do, huh? Yeah, maybe we could try it like this. Considering all its flaws, I would say it's still a good buy. At $21, it's definitely hard to beat. All right, well, I mean, what I have to say about this, I already knew it before I shot this video, but it kind of just reaffirmed my opinion of it. Works pretty good. $21 is what I paid for it. I have seen it fluctuate in price just a little bit, but a pretty good example of the old Western 49 knives. A nice reproduction of it, and a heck of a lot cheaper. So if you're looking for something you can use and abuse, and you're not too worried about some of the little fit and finish issues, I definitely recommend it. Welcome to Wilson's Wild. Let's try that again. Welcome to Wilson's Wild. Man, that's a lot of W's. I didn't realize it's so hard to say.